Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We're very happy to have the legislative session coming to a close. I think it was a terrific session. I want to thank legislative leaders and legislators on both sides of the aisle for their hard work over the past 90 days. I would say this was by far our best legislative session ever in 7 years. Most successful, biggest progress we had, I would say, is the Relief Act, which was our #1 priority during this pandemic, and it was the largest tax cut in Maryland history, $1.45 billion, that helped small businesses, helped put people to work, helped struggling Marylanders, helped people at every level. That was really the highlight of the session, but we also found bipartisan agreement unanimously on our budget, which utilized all of the federal funding that came through, really helped put our state in a much better position, putting away money in the rainy day fund and our fund balance. We're in much stronger financial shape now than we have ever been at the state, and so a lot of good progress. Worked together on a lot of things, and we record funded education for the 7th year in a row. And just want to thank everybody for their hard work. Our work is going to continue to focus on the same things that we always have. I know the legislature is wrapping things up today. We'll have a bill signing tomorrow for whatever bills they do get up to us early, and then we just continue to focus on COVID and vaccines. We're about to hit 3.5 million vaccines. We're about to hit 80% of our population over 65 being vaccinated. We're approaching 50% of our entire population over 18 being vaccinated. We're going to be opening up a mass vaccination site in Anne Arundel County, and we'll be traveling around the state. But with that, I'd be happy to take a couple questions.
So the question on gambling, the senator's up and says that's going to be an emergency bill. I know you always say to us, got to see the bill. But is that something that the state of Maryland needs to move quickly on, especially because Virginia and D.C. already have their sports gaming up and running?
Well, I haven't seen the bill yet. I think they're talking about getting it done today. But we do think I think they seem to have reached a compromise. I'm not sure everybody's thrilled with the bill, but I think they seem to have worked pretty good agreement to make most stakeholders somewhat acceptable to the bill. And I can't really say exactly without reading it, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to act on that one pretty quickly.
You've been in this office now 7 years. What lessons have you learned during this process? And as you close it out, what are some suggestions that you give to the body politically?
Well, it's funny, I've only been here 6 years, but it's our 7th session because you come in, after the first one has already started. So it's a little over 6 years. We still got nearly 2 years left. But I think we've learned. I think we've really set an example for the rest of the country and for the folks in Washington down the road that while it doesn't always happen, doesn't happen very often, that even if you disagree and you maybe come from different parties, I think the people elected me because they wanted compromise, they wanted balance, they wanted checks and balances. They don't want just one party or another running off in one direction. And we've been very successful at it. Like I said, I'm the only governor in America to pass a massive tax cut with a liberal Democratic legislature. We worked with them on a number of their priorities, and we've been, I would say, pretty successful. People are happy with the job that we're both doing. Yeah, I just want to continue to work together with them. I would say they ought to just take a look at where the people in Maryland really are and continue to work with us in a bipartisan way and not move too far to the left, because I think that'd be a mistake for them electorally. All right, let's do it. How about we'll let Aaron go? I promise we'll go.
You posted on social media earlier today about some of the immigration bills that are moving towards passage today, saying that some of them might create a sanctuary state in Maryland. Could you elaborate on your views?
Yeah, I would veto any sanctuary bill that passed the legislature today. Hopefully that won't happen, but we would definitely veto that.
Yeah, Governor, the legislature pretty quickly overrode your veto of police reform. I wanted to get your reaction to that and
Yeah.
thoughts on what consequences that will have.
Well, look, we all shared the same goal of working on police reform. I thought the Senate did a better job than the House, quite frankly. There were probably 7 of their 9 bills that we would have signed. We did let 2 of the bills go into law. The other 3, there were actually had some things in there we liked. I've been a huge proponent of body cams for quite some time, and there are a number of other, I think, worthwhile goals in the bill, but a couple of the provisions in there are pretty dangerous, and I think are going to put police officers and civilians' lives at stake. And I'm fairly certain they're going to have to come back and make some changes to those before the next session. Okay.
Before the next session?
I mean, next section. They're going to have to fix the bills. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Governor. You didn't have to veto that bill while they were here. Doing so allowed them to override you now. Was
Yeah.
that part of give and take or coordination or a different word with Washington?
You know, I think this is an important issue that you know, I had very strong feelings about exactly some of the wording of the bill. I wanted people to know that. They had very strong feelings about getting it passed, and rather than letting that debate rage on for the next year, I thought it was better to address it directly and immediately. They sent me the bill early. I could have delayed that till right after the session, and but I think, you know, that would have been a political game, and I just wanted to be direct and upfront. You know, we knew they were going to override the veto, but we also thought it was important to stand up for what we believed in.
Governor, what unfinished business would you like to see accomplished tonight?
It's a great question. Look, there are a couple things that I think are still undone. So I said we passed the largest tax cut in Maryland history, $1.45 billion, which I'm very pleased with. This is, I think, the 7th year in a row that we've cut taxes, and it's one of the main things that I promised to do when I got elected governor. But we have a $1 billion tax relief bill for retirees, which are fleeing our state because we have some of the highest retirement taxes in the country, and they haven't brought that up. There are several other bills, like the crime bill. There was a lot of focus on the police bills, but you know, a tough crime bill passed the Senate, as it did last year, and got held up in the House. And you know, we really have to do something about the violent crime that's taken over our streets, and I'm hopeful that that can still happen. We just got to shake it loose in the House.
Governor, do you have a position on the bill changing the parole process that is very close to being finalized in the House?
Yeah, we'll you know, look, I've taken the parole process very seriously. I was the first governor in 24 years to parole a juvenile lifer. I've paroled and commuted the sentence and pardoned more people than the past 4 or 5 governors added together. But I think taking that, giving that all that power to the parole commission and just you know, making it even more lenient than it is now, I think would be a mistake.
Excuse me, Governor. Thank you. One police reform question. Kind of touched on it a little bit. There was a few strong-willed comments by a few delegates who used some strong language, such as coward, such as just misguided. Wanted to make sure you got a say in. Do you think it's more political, or is it just more of an emotional?
No, I think there's emotions. Look, a lot of people, that's what most politics is today, is you know, angry, heightened rhetoric. I've tried not to really engage in that. You know, I understand people are passionate about different things, but you know, I think the vast majority of people would disagree with those comments. Anybody else?
On the crime bill specifically in Baltimore City, we obviously know that big crime is an issue.
It's the #1 issue.
Yeah. How long do you think, I mean, how long do these House members, you said we had it happen through the Senate last year. Do you think that it's putting people at risk the longer they wait?
There's no question about that. I mean, we've got murders are out of control in Baltimore City. It continues to rise every single year. We have 350 people killed. We had very, you know, good common sense legislation that would help that with people committing crimes with guns, repeat violent offenders, a number of other pieces of legislation that we worked together in a bipartisan way that passed the Senate overwhelmingly, that are still not law, and we still have people getting shot in the streets every day. So very frustrating, but I'm still hopeful. I mean, we still got till midnight tonight, and that's one of the most important things to get done today.
Governor, going back to the sports betting bill, there are provisions in there that would actually place a cap on the number of licenses distributed. I'm wondering if you're concerned about equity in the bill and making sure that, you know, businesses, all sorts of businesses can get.
I think they have addressed equity, and they broadly expanded the number of licenses just to address that issue, but I don't know exactly what's going on with that today. There are, you know, 2,800 pieces of legislation. I'm not following any of them. I'm kind of focused on the vaccines.
Are you concerned that we're going to see something like we saw for the medical cannabis industry where
Well, they made a lot of mistakes in that bill. The Black Caucus wrote that bill and tried to correct it later, but hopefully they won't make that mistake with gambling.
Last question.
All right. Thank you, guys.